Hello, everyone. I'm Pastor Jonny, and I'm so excited to be joining Healing Hope as your pastor on June 1st. The leadership has been so warm and prayerful and thorough in the interview process, and I'm certain God has some amazing plans for us. Since many of you don't know me, I thought I would share a few facts about myself to start. I grew up in Portland, about 3 miles away from Healing Hope. I attended and graduated from Portland Adventist Academy and then Walla Walla University. Returned to Portland, pastored for a couple years, and am now at Andrews University in Berrien Springs, Michigan, working on my Master of Divinity degree. I live here with my wife, Heather, and dog, Leo. Heather is amazing. She is my best friend and such a huge support to my life and ministry. Her presence in my life has profoundly increased my effectiveness in every aspect of life. She is a filmmaker and a musician. She's very passionate about what she does and what God has called her to. And I love that. I love journeying in life with someone like that. Right now, she's actually off musicianing as I speak. Both Heather and Leo are very excited also to join the Healing Hope family. Now that you've got kind of the basic picture of who I am, I think I'll spend the rest of my time in this video answering several questions from the Healing Hope Church itself. So, number one, if I were to describe myself and the way I do ministry in one word, the word I would use would be intentional. I love the way that Jesus was so purposeful in his ministry, and I seek to emulate that, to live that out in mine as well. I seek to not just do programs, not just give talks, but to when I say something, to actually mean something, to when I do something, to actually have it accomplish something for the good of the kingdom of God. Number two, I'm particularly excited about working with Healing Hope because when I think about the Christian life, I see it as a grand experiment. Does this person, Jesus, does this community, the church, does this book, the Bible, do these things actually fill human life with love and meaning and vibrancy? In the Healing Hope Church, I've seen a church that cares so deeply for its members, its community, and for fostering the way of Jesus in the world. You are a community that has embraced this experiment and has found, as I have, that God does fill us with love, with vibrancy, with meaning. Yes, there are hard times, but you've thrown yourselves in. And I love that, and I'm so excited about working with you for exactly that reason. Number three, this is actually 2 questions. The Pathfinders had some questions for me. Brian and David's questions were very similar, so I've kind of combined them into one. Brian asked, what's my favorite hobby? David asked, what's my favorite sport? It just so happens that the 2 are kind of one in my life. My favorite sport is probably basketball, and that would be my favorite hobby as well. Our 4th and final question comes from Jane. And Jane asked, what's your favorite Bible verse, and why is it important to you? I think this is a great question to end on. Though I don't have a favorite verse, I do have a favorite passage. And the reason why it's important to me is because when I feel discouraged about the hecticness of life, the difficulty of life, this passage reminds me of the life that God has for us. And it invites me to embrace that life right then in that moment. You'll probably be familiar with it. I'll recite from the English Standard Version. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. My prayer for you, Brian, David, Jane, all of you brothers and sisters at Healing Hope, is that over the next months and years, this passage will become truer and truer and truer in your lives. I'll see you in June.